Welcome to my lecture. Today we discuss about the hypersensitivity reaction as a topic of the immunopathology. So first of all, what is hypersensitivity reaction and tissue injury? Hypersensitivity is a misnomer terminology. So this disease results from the normal immune response. It is not excessive or hyper responses. So hypersensitivity is a misnomer. Their classification is based on immunological mechanism. So both exogenous and endogenous antigen may elicit hypersensitivity reaction. So the development of the hypersensitivity reaction, it is often associated with the inheritance of the some susceptible genes. Hypersensitivity reaction, it reflects an imbalance between effector mechanism of immune response and control mechanism that serve to normally limit such response. So basically definition of the hypersensitivity is a imbalance between the effector mechanism of immune response and control mechanism that serve to normally limit such response. So we discuss the characteristics of hypersensitivity reaction in general. So it is the results in tissue injury or other pathophysiological changes. It occurs when already sensitized individual it is re-exposed to same foreign substance. So re-exposure to the same foreign substance to already sensitized individual is requirement. It may be immediate or sometimes delayed type of the reaction occur. Tissue injury, it may be caused by the release of the vasoactive substance that we discuss later, phagocytosis or the lysis of the cells, activation of inflammatory and cytolytic components of complement systems. So phagocytosis plus activation of inflammatory and the complement system activation is major prime mechanism for hypersensitivity reaction. All these reaction that causes release of the various cytokines, proteolytic enzymes and other mediators that leads to the tissue injury and inflammation. So here the table gives the brief overview of the types of the hypersensitivity reaction. So there are 4 types of the reaction: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. All 4 reactions have different immunological mechanism. All have different prototype disorder, various pathological lesion is different. So briefly that we say the type 1 reaction, type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, it is anaphylaxis or allergic. The prototypical disorder is bronchial asthma or the atopic form of the allergy. So bronchial asthma, it belongs to the type 1 reaction. Similarly, in type 1 reaction, the major immune mechanism, so antibody is here the IgE type of the antibody. So IgE antibody is the major role in type 1 reaction. While type 2 reaction, it is called the antibody mediated reaction, antibody mediated hypersensitivity. So the prototype disorder is the autoimmune hemolytic anemia, autoimmune thrombocytopenia or the Goodpasture syndrome. Here the antibody different is the IgG and IgM. So IgG and IgM is the main antibody in the type 2 reaction. While type 3 reaction, it is called the immune complex mediated hypersensitivity reaction. Prototypical disorder is the SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus. It is a one autoimmune disorder, and some glomerulonephritis also the disorder that belongs to the type 3 reaction. Here the immune complex, so deposition of the antigen and antibody complex that leads to the activation of the complement system and that causes the damage to the particular tissue. So this is the basic mechanism for the type 3 reaction. While the lastly type 4 reaction, it is very important, it is the cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction. So type 4 reaction, the major disease belongs to it the tuberculosis and the transplant rejection. So transplant rejection and tuberculosis, it belongs to the type 4 type of the reaction. Here the activated T lymphocyte that causes the release of the various cytokines in macrophage activation that lead to the T cell mediated cytotoxicity. And the granuloma formation is hallmark of the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. So one by one we discuss the each reaction. So first of all the type 1 reaction. Type 1 reaction, it is a rapidly developing immunological reaction. It occurs within minutes after the combination of an antigen with antibody bound to the mast cell in individual previously sensitized to the antigen. So here the previously sensitized to the antigen is very important. So the person is first time sensitized to the antigen, and when the second time the similar foreign antigen exposure occur, that lead to the reaction occur within the minutes. So basically antigen and antibody bind to the mast cell, and the mast cell lysis occur and the release of the various granules, histamine and etc. various granules that causes the vasoactive amines, histamine, that causes the reaction. The reaction is called an allergy, and the antigen that causes the are termed the allergen. So mostly the reaction is mediated by the IgE antibody dependent activation of the mast cell and other leukocyte. So IgE antibody is important for the type 1 reaction. So it is a anaphylactic type of the reaction. It occurs within the minute. IgE mediated. It is provoked by the re-exposure of the same antigen by either by contact inhalation, or by ingestion or by injection. So any route, through any route, the same antigen is exposure occur in the previously sensitized individual, that the type 1 reaction happens. So it is mediated by the, as we said previously, antigen binding with antibody to the binding to the mast cell or the basophil. The reaction, it may be local or it may be systemic, depending upon the type of the exposure of the antigen. That reaction usually occur in the two-phase reaction. Initial response is rapid. So rapid response is the within 5 to 30 minutes after exposure to the antigen, and that response subsides within the 60 minutes. So that reaction is vasodilatation, edema and the smooth muscle spasm. While late phase response, it is the 2 to 8 hours later. So late phase response occur quite later. It occur in approximately 50% of the patients. That reaction caused by the monocytes, eosinophil, basophils and the PMN cells. PMN cells is the neutrophil and the various CD4 T cells. That reaction that lead to the substantial mucosal epithelial damage. So here the diagram shows the immediate reaction and the late phase reaction. So here shows the hours after the allergen exposure. So here the allergic exposure occur, and that reaction occur within half an hour. So it is the early response, and the further the response is subsided and the late response starts. Here the response subsided and the further late response starts. So these are the tissue changes or the morphological changes in the tissue due to the reaction. So this arrow indicate the mast cell degranulation. So release of the mediators in the mast cell cytoplasm into the tissue that lead to the blood vessel congestions and the edema, and subsequently it causes the release of the eosinophils. So there is a plenty of eosinophil infiltration in the tissue, edema, dilated blood vessels. So these are the main features of the type 1 reaction. So again, that schematic diagram that explains how the reaction happens. So this is the pollen or the antigen through inhalation in the respiratory tract. Here the respiratory epithelium is there. So ciliated, pseudostratified ciliated columnar type of the epithelium, and the exposure to the pollen. So this pollen particle, that antigen which comes into the contact with the dendritic cells. Dendritic cells are the parts of the innate immunity. So it is present into the epithelium. So it processes the antigen and present to the T cell. So here the T cell are the Th2 type of the cells. Remember in the previous talk that the Th2 type of the cells, T helper 2 cells, that is responsible for the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, that is responsible for the production of the IgE type of the B cells and subsequently release of the IgE antibody. So allergic reaction, the T helper 2 cells. So that dendritic cell that process the antigen, it present antigen to the T cell receptor, and the T helper 2 cells, it release the various cytokines. So interleukin 4, interleukin 5, interleukin 3, GM-CSF, granulocyte, colony stimulating factor. So that causes the release of the IgE antibody. So this IgE antibody that again in the bind the tissue mast cell. So remember that the mast cell have the surface receptor for the Fc portion of the IgE antibody. So that Fc portion of the IgE antibody directly binds with the mast cell. So that mast cell subsequently that binding and cross-linking occur with the antigen. So antigen, here is the antigen and the antibody binding. So that antigen antibody binding with the mast cell surface, that causes the release of the primary and secondary mediators. So these are the various mediators of the inflammation, primary and secondary mediators that causes the tissue changes. So first reaction occur is the smooth muscle spasm. So there will be a spasm of the smooth muscle contraction occur, dilatation of the blood vessel, so that lead to the edema, again the release of the neutrophil from inside the blood vessel to the outside, that causes the leukocytic infiltration, and further there will be increased mucus secretion. So this increased mucus secretion that will be present on the surface of the epithelium. So epithelial damage, increased mucus secretion, leukocyte infiltration, blood vessel dilatation, edema formation, and the smooth muscle contraction. So these all are 4 to 5 reaction. It is due to the release of the various mediators from the mast cell after binding with the antigen antibody complex on the surface of the mast cell. So mechanism, So the mechanism for the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction is as explained, that the allergen or the pollen particle that binds with the T helper 2 cells and further secrete the IgE type of the antibody. So the mediators of the mast cell that release, the mediators are the vasoactive amines, some lipid mediators, some cytokines. So for the immediate reaction, vasoactive amines and the lipid mediator, while late reaction cytokines is responsible. So here the diagram explain the antigen. This black dot is the antigen that bind with the Y portion, that the Fc fragment of the receptor for the mast cell, and that again the cross linking occur, that signal for the degranulation generated and the degranulation starts. Some signal goes to the nucleus and that secrete the cytokines, and some membrane phospholipid that further causes the release of the some mediators. So degranulation that release major mediator are the histamine, protease, chemotactic factor, while the some cytokines is released, and the membrane phospholipid that the arachidonic acid, leukotrienes, prostaglandin D2, platelet activating factor that causes all the reaction. So immediate reaction is the vasodilatation, blood vessel leakage, and the smooth muscle contraction with the smooth muscle spasm, while the late reaction is the leukocyte infiltration, epithelial damage, and bronchospasm. So systemic anaphylaxis, that means the more than one system is involved in the anaphylactic reaction. So it is characterized by the vascular shock, widespread edema, and difficulty in breathing. So in hospital setting, some anti-sera, hormones, enzyme, polysaccharides, some drugs like the penicillin that may causes the systemic anaphylaxis. In community settings, some food allergies, while intake of the some kind of the foods that causes the systemic anaphylaxis. Some insect toxins like the bee stings, some itching, skin erythema within minutes, that develop the skin erythema within minutes. It may lead to the respiratory difficulty or the GIT symptoms, shock, and the death can occur within the minutes. So now we discuss the type 2 reaction. Type 2 reaction, it is the antibody mediated hypersensitivity reaction. So it is mediated by the antibody directed towards the antigen. So antibody directed towards the antigen. So antigen which is present on the cell surface of the extracellular matrix and the antibody directly targeted to that antigen. So two type of the antibody is there. One is the IgG and the second one is the IgM type of the antibody. So example of the type 2 reaction is the autoimmune hemolytic anemia, autoimmune thrombocytopenic purpura. So these two reaction, here the target antigen is erythrocyte membrane protein or the platelet membrane protein, and opsonization and phagocytosis of the RBC and platelet. So these are the mechanism of disease. So here the three different mechanism that is responsible for the type 2 reaction. The one is the opsonization and phagocytosis of opsonization and phagocytosis. Second one is the complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation, and the third one is the antibody mediated cellular dysfunction. So that opsonization and phagocytosis, it occur in the autoimmune hemolytic anemia and autoimmune thrombocytopenic purpura. Other is the complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation. It occurs in Goodpasture syndromes. In Goodpasture syndrome, there is a non-collagenous protein in basement membrane of kidney and glomeruli and lung alveoli. So the disease involves the lung plus kidney. The non-collagenous protein present in the kidney, glomerulus and the lung alveoli, it is responsible as a target antigen. And the complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation that subsequently lead to the nephritis, Goodpasture syndrome nephritis and the lung hemorrhage or the alveolar hemorrhage. Third reaction is the antibody mediated cellular dysfunction. The example is the myasthenia gravis. Here the antibody directed towards the acetylcholine receptor. So that antibody inhibits acetylcholine bindings. So it down modulates receptors that lead to the muscle weakness. So acetylcholine is released, but there is no space to bind to acetylcholine because already antibody that bind to the acetylcholine is present. So that lead to the muscle weakness and paralysis. Similarly, that reaction occurs in Graves' disease, in which there is a antibody directly binds to the TSH receptor. So that lead to the increased release of the thyroid hormone, increased production of the thyroid hormone and increased release. So thyroid antibody mediated TSH receptor binding that lead to the hyperthyroidism. So these are the three examples of the different mechanism of in type 2 reaction. So one by one we discuss three type of the reaction. So this is the first, A, opsonization and phagocytosis, second, complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation, and third, antibody mediated cellular dysfunction. So in first reaction, opsonized cells that binds with the phagocytes. So opsonization is a process in which the cells become more attractive to engulfed by the phagocytes. So here in phagocytes there is a receptor for the Fc or the C3b receptor. So C3b is a opsonized molecule. So C3b binds to the surface of the cells or the bacteria. So that particular C3b receptor present on the phagocytes. So after binding with the C3b receptor and C3b molecules, that whole particle that engulf inside the macrophage or inside the phagocyte. So these are the phagocytized cells. So this opsonized molecule, it enhance or it catalytic the process of the engulfment of the phagocytosis. Further, here the role of the complement activation also play in the role. Second is the complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation. So there is a Fc receptor which is present onto the neutrophils. So the complement activation and the Fc receptor that mediated inflammation that release the complement products C5a and C3a. So these are the complement byproducts. So it causes the aggregation of the neutrophil, release of the enzymes, reactive oxygen intermediate that causes the tissue injury. And third is the antibody mediated cellular dysfunction, in which there is a antibody binds to the acetylcholine receptor. So antibody inhibits the binding of the neurotransmitter to receptor. So acetylcholine receptor that bind with the antibody. So after the stimulation of the nerve ending, there is the release of the acetylcholine. So that acetylcholine will not bind to the ACH receptor because there is no vacant ACH receptor is left. So this is the example of the myasthenia gravis. This is again example of the Graves disease. Here the antibody against the TSH receptor. So this is the TSH receptor. So antibody bind against the TSH receptor that causes the stimulation of the thyroid epithelial cells and release of the thyroid hormone. So antibody stimulate receptor without hormone. So here the bypassing the hormone. Antibody directly stimulate the thyroid epithelial cells and the release of the T3 and T4. So it lead to the hyperthyroidism. The example of the first is the autoimmune hemolytic anemia and autoimmune thrombocytopenia, while second is the Goodpaster syndrome, and the third is the myasthenia gravis and the Graves disease. So this is the similar as we discussed opsonization and complement and Fc receptor mediated phagocytosis. Second is the antibody dependent cell mediated cytotoxicity, complement and Fc receptor mediated inflammation that lead to the inflammation and tissue injury. So this reaction occur in the Goodpaster syndrome because the non-collagenous domain in the glomeruli and the lung alveoli are similar. So reaction occur in both nephritis plus lung hemorrhage in Goodpaster syndrome. So here the example is the Graves disease and the further is the myasthenia gravis. Now we discuss the type 3 reaction. Type 3 reaction, it is the immune complex mediated reaction. So here the immune complex means the combination of the two things. So it is an antigen and antibody complex that produce the tissue damage, it mainly by the inflammation at the site of the deposition. So complex is the antigen antibody combination combined to form the complex and it attach with the particular tissue that at the site of the deposition that produce the inflammation and the tissue injury. So antigen antibody complex, it initiate acute inflammation, complement activation and the accumulation of the neutrophils. So this antigen, it may be endogenous antigen or sometimes the exogenous antigen. Endogenous antigen are the DNA circulating antigen present in the blood, or more commonly antigenic component of the one's own cells and the tissue. Exogenous antigen are the bacteria, virus and some foreign protein. So immune complex form in circulation or antigen are planted and in form in situ. It can be generalized or localized. So example of the some antigen associated with the immune complex disorder like the some bacteria, streptococci, so it will lead to the post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. Polyarthritis nodosa, it is caused by the some virus, hepatitis B or the cytomegalovirus. So some glomerulonephritis, farmer's lung, hypersensitivity pneumonitis. So this is caused by the some actinomycetes that causes the farmer's lung. So glomerulonephritis, infective endocarditis. So these are the example for the some exogenous antigen, farmer's lung. While some endogenous antigen, example is the SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus. So nuclear antigen is the endogenous antigen and the antibody bind with the nuclear antigen and the further that produce the reaction into the various system of the body. While some immunoglobulin is the rheumatoid arthritis and some tumor antigen is the glomerulonephritis. So pathogenesis of the immune complex disease are the antigen antibody complex that binds and the deposit on the particular site or the particular tissue that lead to the complement activation. That complement activation that lead to the further release of the various chemotactic factors. That chemotactic factors causes the aggregation of the neutrophils, phagocytosis of the complex and release of the lysosomal enzymes that causes the necrosis. Some release of the vasoactive amines that lead to the vasodilatation and edema. At the site of the injury, there will be aggregation of the platelet that lead to the microthrombi formation that lead to the ischemia and necrosis. So the fibrinoid necrosis, vasodilatation and edema. So these are the main morphological changes on the immune complex disease. So here the diagram explains the amount in serum that antigen is present in amount in serum. Antigen is present in amount in serum that causes the deposition of the immune complex. So the circulating immune complex is present and the deposition of the immune complex occur after the 10 to 12 days. So that lead to the vasculitis, glomerulonephritis and the complement activation. So vasculitis, that means the inflammation of the blood vessel. So there is a neutrophil present around the blood vessel wall. So the deposition of the immune complex green color and further the aggregation of the neutrophil around the immune complex. Glomerulonephritis, sometimes that immune complex deposit on the basement membrane of the glomerulus, that lead to the glomerulonephritis. And the complement activation, that lead to the increased blood vessel permeability and edema. So this diagram again explains the green color is antigen that is present in circulation and the antibody which after binding with antigen and antibody, that phase 1 immune complex formation, in phase 2 immune complex deposition. So once the immune complexes get deposited, that lead to the complement and Fc receptor mediated leukocyte recruitment and activation, and further lastly that lead to the vasculitis and the platelet aggregation. So immune complex mediated inflammation and tissue injury. Here the inflammation is the neutrophil and lysosomal enzyme, that yellow color platelet aggregation occur and the vasculitis. So morphology is the acute necrotizing vasculitis with necrosis of the blood vessel wall plus intense neutrophilic infiltration. Here the characteristic type of the necrosis occur in immune complex disease is the fibrinoid necrosis. So it is a smudgy eosinophilic deposits that obscure the underlying cellular detail, affected glomerular or hypercellular because of the swelling and proliferation of the endothelial and mesangial cells. So fibrinoid necrosis and the acute necrotizing vasculitis, these are the morphological changes in case of the immune complex disease. So tissue affected are the kidney, skin, heart, joints, serosal surface, some small vessels. So these are the example of the various immune complex disease. So SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, antigen involved is the intrinsic or the endogenous DNA antigen that lead to the clinico-pathological manifestation occurring to the kidney, joint and blood vessel, nephritis, arthritis and vasculitis. Another important disease is the polyarthritis nodosa, PAN. So here the antigen involved is the hepatitis B virus antigen that lead to the vasculitis. Other is the post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. It occurs in children after the streptococcus infection into the throat that lead to the sore throat and further glomerulonephritis. So streptococcal wall antigen may be planted in the glomerular basement membrane, GBM. So it lead to the nephritis. So these three disease is very common in case of the immune complex mediated disease. So this diagram again explains the fibrinoid necrosis. So necrotic vessels is replaced by the pink fibrinoid smudgy eosinophilic material. Type 4 reaction is very important reaction. It is called the T cell mediated reaction or the T cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction, or called the delayed type of the hypersensitivity reaction. So it is mediated by the CD4 T cells and the CD8 T cells. So delayed type of the reaction, here the in top diagram it explains the antigen APC cells, it present the antigen, it process the antigen and present antigen to the CD4 T cells. So T helper 1 cells and T helper 17 cells. So CD4 T cells, it release the various cytokines, interferon gamma, tumor necrosis factor that lead to the macrophage activation and inflammation. While the CD4 T cells, T helper 17 cells, it releases the interleukin 17 that causes the inflammation and tissue injury. While in bottom diagram, T cell mediated cytolysis, CD8 positive cytotoxic T lymphocyte that causes the cell killing and the tissue injury. So example is the tuberculin skin test, Montex test or the Montex reaction. Granuloma formation is a prime example of the delayed type of the reaction or the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. What is granuloma? Granuloma is a nodular aggregates of the epithelioid macrophage which is surrounded by the ring of lymphocytes and the multinucleated type of the giant cells. So the type of inflammation characteristic of this reaction is called the granulomatous inflammation. So the key cells is the epithelioid macrophage, not the giant cells. Basically giant cells is the syncytium formation of the epithelioid macrophage. So the epithelioid macrophage occur in seeds, it is called the giant cells. So this diagram explains the APC cells, antigen presenting cells, present the antigen to the CD4 helper T cells, while the APC cells release the interleukin 12. Further, the CD4 helper T cells release the three type of the different cytokines. One is the tumor necrosis factor, interferon gamma, and the interleukin 2. So the tumor necrosis factor that causes the release of the monocyte from the blood vessel to the macrophage, blood vessel to the extravascular compartment. So monocyte becomes the macrophage. So inside the blood vessel it is called the monocyte, and outside it is called the macrophage. So that macrophage further process and the nucleus becomes slipper shape. So it is called the epithelioid cells. So epithelioid cells aggregates, nodular aggregates of the epithelioid cells plus giant cells occur and surrounded by the rim of the lymphocytes. It is called the granuloma formation. So tumor necrosis factor, interferon gamma, and interleukin 2 that is responsible for the granuloma formation, which all are released by the CD4 T helper cells. So this is the H&E stain photograph of the granuloma formation. Here the central necrosis and the multinucleated cells, giant cells, which is surrounded by the necrosis, caseous necrosis, and the epithelioid histiocyte, which is surrounded by the lymphocytes and the some necrotic materials. So these are the multiple granuloma. So these are the Langerhans giant cells. Langerhans giant cells have characteristics arrangement of the nucleus and the periphery of the cells. So it is arrangement is in horseshoe shape. So it is called the Langerhans type of the giant cells. So tuberculous antigen processing by the macrophage and the presenting to the CD4 T cells, sensitized CD4 cells remain in circulation, and once again the re-exposure that lead to the amplification and recruitment that causes the macrophage, that causes the tissue damage and granuloma formation. So major defense against the tuberculosis and fungi by the granuloma formation. Now the patient with HIV or the patient having AIDS, patient having immunosuppressed, or the patient having immunodeficiency have a little defense against this organism due to the extreme decline in the number of the CD4 T cells. So the number of CD4 T cells will drastically reduce in case of the HIV or the AIDS. So there will be no granuloma formation occur in case of the HIV, because the number of CD4 T cells required to form the granuloma is very less. So other example of the type 4 reaction is in transplant rejection. So T cell mediated cytotoxicity, the cell responsible for the CD8 positive cytotoxic T lymphocyte, it lyses the target cell directly by the release of the perforin granzyme that lead to the osmotic lysis of the cell and the release of the various cytokines, interferon gamma. So lastly, to summarize the whole lecture, type 1 reaction, it is the IgE mediated, mast cell mediated release of the histamine that causes the local and systemic anaphylaxis. Type 2 reaction, antibody bind to the cell surface that lead to the damage and tissue injury by complement activation and the cellular cytotoxicity or the cellular dysfunction. Sometimes it may stimulate or sometimes block the receptor, like in the Graves' disease or the myasthenia gravis. While type 3 reaction, it is the antigen antibody complex which is either local or circulating, and it causes the damage by activating complement in tissue at the site of trapping of complex. In type 4 reaction, it is the T cell mediated, CD4 cells recruit the macrophage and the CD8 T cells causes cytotoxicity. Type 4 reaction example is the tuberculosis and the graft versus host disease. So this will cover all the major portion of the hypersensitivity reaction. Thank you.